So dudes, Unshaved Greg back at it again with another video. Welcome back to the Gregor Gaming Experience. So there's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of blah blah blah, a lot of malding over the Ubisoft NFT thing. And this isn't a segue into a Keep sponsorship. I'm using the term malding in a roundabout way. People already have been malding about NFTs for a pretty significant amount of time. Unless you've been born under a rock, I think you guys already know where most of the internet, or at least what seems to be most of the internet, especially the Twitter.com space, seems to stand on NFTs. And the problem that I usually have talking about NFTs is that, one, a lot of people don't understand and before you read into what I'm saying and go, oh God, is Gregor defending NFTs? I'm not. Okay, I'm just talking about them from an objective point of view. Okay, so don't fucking freak out. Okay, but anyway, one, people get fixated on the environmental impact, which is a valid concern in my opinion, and two, they don't end up talking about NFTs in regards to the technology of how they work, and it ends up kind of defeating their environmental impact point. And what I mean by that is basically, so what happens a lot with NFT arguments is that you get kind of the infamous sort of just right click it sort of argument. Hey, I right clicked your NFT, and then some crypto bro idiot who doesn't understand his own technology gets mad, and then they get memed because they got mad that somebody right clicked their monkey or their lion picture. When in reality, the crypto bro who bought the fucking thing, if they knew anything about the technology that they're so attached to, they would understand that the whole freaking point of buying it is that you get a quote unquote like digital signature, and then the roundabout way the blockchain verifies it. Is basically kind of like how online banking works. There's a million different fucking computers and server towers running calculations against each other, like basically cross-examining each other, and then sort of giving the receipt that Joe Blow owns a monkey picture. So right-clicking it doesn't diminish the value. Putting it up on Twitter doesn't diminish the value. The value is inherently controlled by this market. Now, there are a lot of arguments to be had about the issue of how reliable this market is. A lot of people talk about markets in the sense that it doesn't mean anything. It's not backed by anything. Things are backed by superfluous, arbitrary bullshit all the time, especially in the crypto space. This isn't new. This isn't like a weird phenomenon. I think a lot of economy majors watching this video are probably gonna understand what I'm trying to get at here. And this is the reason that Ubisoft has managed to screw up the NFT situation, is because I think that whoever was in charge of running Ubisoft Quartz has a bad understanding of NFTs, and they also have a bad understanding of how markets work and how people are going to react to this sort of thing. So I'm not gonna talk about the NFT situation from the perspective of monkey picture bad and then just leave it at that. I actually want to have a conversation about how the technology of these things work, what Ubisoft is trying to do here, and how they in my opinion messed it up. So with no further ado, so Ubisoft Quartz is Ubisoft's vision, so to speak, of NFTs. If you don't know shit about NFTs, it's basically a piece of digital merchandise that is backed by a blockchain. So you make a purchase of an NFT. In theory, the idea is you purchase this digital merchandise. A blockchain verifies your purchase. Cross-examining through a bunch of complicated. This is all in layman's terms and probably not even that accurate, but it's the best way I can think to describe it. Bunch of server systems and computers kind of back checking each other to verify that Joe Blow owns the thing. This is very similar to how banks verify transactions amongst each other, how they determine that Bob has $50 in his checking account and Jill has $20 in her checking account. All of that money, all of that money, that digital currency. People talk about cryptocurrency like it's this unique phenomenon. Money in general right now has just pretty much gone digital. This isn't 1855. Okay, the overwhelming majority of currency is not backed by shit, but the market and the general the large, statistically difficult to kind of categorize sort of market and general public perception towards value of something. Now we're getting into like economic philosophy, but that's the best way I can describe it. So what Quartz has done is they have their own like terminology for it. This is a place where you can acquire digits, the first Ubisoft NFT, blah, blah, blah. And it's supposed to be energy efficient. More on that topic later. So it's skins, they're NFTs. You go through a marketplace and you can buy them. They're doing it with Ghost Recon Broken Point, which is one of the biggest Ghost Recon flops in recent memory. And here they are. And they look awful. Like, nobody is buying this. Nobody's buying this either. These look like crap. Okay? I don't think anybody would be buying this even if it wasn't an NFT. I think they already just look kind of dumb. But, because they're an NFT, it's become this even more difficult kind of conversation to have. So something you'll notice here is that, they'll go like limited edition, 3,000, 250, 2,000. So this is the difference. This is the difference with the way Ubisoft is running this. What Ubisoft has done is they put out a quote unquote finite amount, like copies of these game skins, and that's the way that they're trying to create FOMO and trying to create scarcity to inflate their value. The problem is that this does a couple of things. One, most crypto bros aren't going to get behind this because they're not actually finite. The whole point to them of buying an NFT is that it's a finite amount. This is the only monkey picture of its kind. It is a unique monkey. It is the rarest of monkeys, the rarest of Pepes, and it is mine. What's happened here is that 250 people have bought a helmet, and then 250 people all say that this is their helmet. So that drives the value of it down in the NFT marketplace. So crypto bros don't want them because they don't actually have any value, and most average people don't want them because they're NFTs, and they don't like NFTs. And I really don't know what the hell was going on here. Really feels like they've managed to dig themselves into a hole, because more recently Ubisoft has basically gone on the record and said, the people just don't get it. Well, I think this marketplace that they've created here demonstrates they don't really understand their consumer base, and they don't understand NFTs, at least in the way that I think that more successful NFT producers have managed to capitalize on this bandwagon. This is a pretty smart article that I found from a Tweak Town. I never heard of these people before until now, but I read the article and I was thinking to myself, I kind of want to go through this and then sort of commentate over it, because I think it brings up some really interesting points. I'll leave a link to it in the description. Ubisoft's recent Quartz NFTs are disastrous PR nightmare that have been ridiculed by pundits, consumers, fans, and the press. Instead of reversing course, Ubisoft is doubling down, which always goes well. Right? I think gamers don't get what a digital secondary market is. Yeah, you're right. What the fuck is a digital secondary market? See, this is already the problem. Like, right out of the gate, you're using digital secondary market. What the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant? Nobody is going to understand what that means, okay? You shouldn't need to have an econ degree to understand what the fuck this helmet is, okay? If people want to buy the stupid helmet, it's going to look good and they'll buy the helmet. Okay, you can't stop this. Stop. This is already off-putting. This is an L right out of the gate, but we'll keep going. So it's really beneficial for them, but they don't get it. Great PR. Really awesome. Tell your consumers that have an issue with your product that they're dumb and they just don't understand why your product is actually really awesome and why they should like it. 10 out of 10. Really, really great idea. Obviously, this is not a great idea. They really screwed the pooch on this one, but there's more. But wait, there's more. So the bottom line, Ubisoft is trying to iterate on a speculative platform. NFTs are nebulous, true, and no one video games company has outlined how exactly they work, also true, or what value they can offer players, true. These are all true statements. There's lots of vague promises. It's not just consumers who don't know. Ubisoft doesn't know either. So the idea that digital ownership can be achieved in a video game, I think, is a pretty easy sell. I think that people could get behind the idea that you purchase like a weapon skin and there's only one of those weapon skins. And then depending on the public perception that surrounds that weapon skin, the value of it can go up or go down. So I think the idea of tangible amounts of skins, for instance, somebody buys one particular skin and it's just theirs and nobody else's, I think that's a pretty powerful selling concept. And I think video game companies are going to start taking advantage of that sooner rather than later, for better or worse. I think obviously a lot of people have issues with these from an ethical point of view. And that's really the primary argument that's made here. It's got not a whole lot to do with art and rich people buying dumb shit, which already happens. There's a lot of ethical arguments here about consumerism and their impact on the environment that I think are made more than anything else. The NFT argument seems to be based on morality more than the actual issue with the product itself. I'm talking about the product itself here with Ubisoft Quartz, which just stinks, and I don't know what the hell they were thinking. There's comments about NFTs becoming a paradigm shift in video games. While most big players like EA and Square Enix are interested, the market is still extremely unregulated and speculative, right? Unregulated. So it's eventually going to get regulated. We're kind of in the Wild West right now. Ubisoft NFTs, for example, have little monetary value. Why? Why do they have little monetary value? It's because they've pumped out a whole crap ton of these things. Now, 3,000, 250, 2,000 might not seem like a lot, but when you're talking about NFTs, when the whole appeal of them is that there's just freaking one of them, and then it's supposed to be, not duplicated, quote unquote, non-fungible, then you end up driving the price of these things way, 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 way down. And Ubisoft, as far as I know, hasn't made a profit on any of these because, unlike what the Baron Harkonnen did in Dune, when he said, "Slowly start selling our spice reserves, but slowly. We don't want the price to fall." They screwed up. They did the opposite of that. They said, "Start selling all our spice reserves. We want the price to fall." That's basically what happened, right? They just they went too hard on this concept, and yeah. So like this article says, NFTs thrive from artificial scarcity. They are typically one-of-a-kind digital pieces of interactive artwork that theoretically, quote theoretically, really important there, that can't be replicated. That is authenticated via original receipts. That's what I meant with the whole blockchain going, a bunch of computers going beep boop back and forth with each other going, hey, Bob owns a monkey picture. That's what gives them value. These NFTs are usually sold at auction and sometimes command hundreds of thousands or even millions in prices. Now, this kind of gets into the whole discussion about art and, I think rich people spending money on dumb shit. Rich people spend money on dumb shit all the time. Any of you who were or are art students or are involved in the art space understand what I'm talking about. If you've ever been to the art district, like around Soho in New York City, you'll probably run into a lot of different galleries that have genuinely well-made art from talented artists that are trying to, auction off and sell their works. Perfectly reasonable idea. And then you run into a gallery where an idiot took a canvas square, painted it red, and said, "This is a canvas square that's red. Give me $1 million." Rich people will spend money on this shit not because they think it's a good piece of art, okay? All these guys that are sitting around, all these idiots, all the Karen haircut morons that look at the red canvas square yeah. Wow. I think it really commands no, stop. Okay? Don't listen to these freaking people. Okay? People buy this shit as a flex among their friends, okay? Because they want to tell people I spent $1 million on this red square and it didn't mean shit to me. Okay? I'm so fucking rich that I can spend $1 million on a red square. Okay? It's flex. It's just, it's That's just how this world works. Just look at how much Konami's limited edition one-of-a-kind NFTs generated. Konami sold 14 NFTs at auction for $164,000. So this is doable, okay? You can make profit off of this. While everybody complains on Twitter that I can't believe they're doing this, you can still make money. Unfortunately, Ubisoft has put themselves in a situation where everyone is going, this is awful, I can't believe they've done this, and they've lost money. Ubisoft circulated 6,000 NFTs and has made less than $3,000. That's a loss maker waiting to happen. Ubisoft likely spent more money to animate the Ghost Recon Breakpoint NFTs than it earned from the secondary sales. Whoops. So this gets into some interesting discussions here. Business-wise, microtransactions are the opposite of NFTs. Microtransactions need to be widely available to everyone at all times. True. More access, not less, is what drives MTX revenues. True. Principles of wide availability, instantaneous delivery, and clearly unrestricted purchases on a primary and trustworthy market is what Ubisoft's entire multi-million games operation is built on. True, true, true. Nothing but bangers in this article. Nothing but facts. Cold hard facts in this article. Shout out to Derek Strickland, fact enjoyer. Also, this is a part of a paradigm shift in gaming. Moving from one economic system to another is not easy to handle. There are a lot of habits you need to go against, and a lot of your ingrained mindset you have to shift. It takes time. Ubisoft needs to go against its own habits if it wants Quartz NFTs to actually work. So yeah, basically, too long didn't read. Ubisoft decided to try to create FOMO by selling these, trying to sell NFTs in a way like cloves. Like there's a certain like limited amount of cloves that are made in this pattern, and then you try to sell that on like an open market. But that's not the appeal of these fucking things. The appeal to crypto bros is that there's just one of them. It's just one. Nobody else has this monkey picture except me. That's the only reason the monkey picture shit even works. Okay? And that's the reason where the whole, just right click it, it doesn't mean anything argument. It's a self-defeating argument, even if it's made in well intentions, talking about the environment. Because the whole reason that the NFTs are bad for the environment is because they're making a bunch of computers do these useless calculations and like cross-checking each other all the time to make sure that Bob only has one of these monkey pictures. It belongs to Bob and nobody else. Nobody else can have a copy of this monkey picture. So when people go around and they're like, oh, just right-click it, and they unironically say, oh, right-clicking it means the same thing, and they're making the environmental argument, they're like halfway there, but they're not quite. So the entire reason to support secondary markets is to make revenue from secondary sales. If everyone is trying to sell their NFTs and no one is buying, the market simply isn't valuable. So yeah, they basically just made like a limited supply of skins. Right? Not really NFTs. They made like a arbitrarily defined number of digital purchased items, but they don't really function like an NFT, and crypto bros aren't going to get interested in them as a result of that. Ubisoft is trying to tap extrinsic monetary rewards as a means to keep you playing over time. This is also another issue, right? They're trying to get instead of just assigning like the monetary value, letting the market decide the value for these things and just letting the pieces fall. They're doing this thing where it's like, oh, you have to have a certain amount of playtime in order to purchase the thing. No, you're like, that's not. This is not how you create scarcity with these things. Okay, you put it out there. It's a unique item. The market arbitrarily, right, defines, or maybe not so arbitrarily, depending on your interpretation of the theory, right, defines the value attached to it, and then that's it. Right? That's not how you do it. Okay? You don't get to play. You don't get to play puppet strings with the market here that you've created. Okay? You gotta put the shit out there, and if people want to buy it, they're gonna buy it. And if they don't want to buy it, they're not gonna buy it. Capitalism. Right? By promising players the opportunity to earn money from in-game cosmetics, Ubisoft is laying out a value proposition that can't be ignored. But if what you are earning isn't worth buying, then you've lost value and time. It used to be that Ubisoft games are played just to spend time. Yeah, that's how it is with a lot of video games. But crypto bros want to, they want to make all of their hobbies into side hustles. So this is where we're at. Thank you, crypto guys. I dropped my pencil. So yeah, it's it's a huge screw up. And of course, Ubisoft doesn't care, right? Because we so strongly believe that what we are doing goes in the right direction. So we will keep integrating. From another point of view, the main issue, of course, is that these skins look like crap. Okay, if the skins look cool, then that would probably kind of like drive their value up. But that's not what's happened. And the other aspect about Ubisoft Quartz, at least from their point of view, is that, oh, remember that environmental argument that you're concerned about? Well, ours is different. We use an environmentally friendly blockchain. The environmentally friendly aspect about NFTs, this is a really contentious topic in and of itself. My stance on it is that climate change is real, but the issues involving climate change aren't gonna, like, the way to fix it isn't to look at like crypto technologies and try to limit them, okay? Because these motherfuckers are already like the cat's out of the bag. Okay, this isn't going away. This is going to be here. We've already integrated blockchains into the efficient means of online banking to a certain extent. Server towers run all the time to cross-examine each other for a wide variety of things. Besides NFTs, I think, gamers are just really fixated on NFTs because it's a topic that really kind of that kind of resonates with them personally. So I think the logical conclusion of this argument is that NFTs aren't going away. So if you're concerned about the environmental impact, what we should be really talking about is transitioning away from the resources that we do consume and stop, dicking around with fossil fuels and actually like come up with a plan to transition away from fossil fuels and actually use renewables. Because if we were running like in a hypothetical, magical fairyland where we were all using nuclear power, clean nuclear power, we could make people could buy all the stupid monkey pictures that they want, right? In theory, right? If we weren't burning up fossil fuels, then it wouldn't matter. The power that is being consumed to verify that Bob owns a monkey picture, that would be out of the picture. Sorry, need water. So at that point, we're not talking about the energy argument. We're talking about like consumerism and digital ownership, what it means to like own something in a digital space, and blah blah blah, capitalism, I guess, right? Then we're getting into like a morality, like an economic morality argument about NFTs, which I think is a different argument, but of course people don't do that. They put the two together. Digits are the first Ubisoft NFTs playable in an HD game. So the blockchain that they use is called Tezos. So a lot of the NFTs that you might be familiar with, like Monkey Picture, those are verified on Ethereum, a cryptocurrency called Ethereum, which is notoriously power hungry, resource hungry, right? So that's where a lot of the arguments sort of come from. POS, piece of something, blockchains work on a consensus mechanism that does not rely on complex computational efforts to validate transactions and therefore does not incentivize extreme amounts of energy consumption. Long story short, it's not an NFT. Right? It's a diet NFT because there's nothing verifying that you fucking own the thing. Right? So it's just using up server capacity. It's using up computing power for no reason. Like, it was already not, theoretically, the whole NFT argument was already, like, the monkey picture is already using up resources for no reason, right? Because the monkey picture is dumb. Why would you buy a monkey picture? But with this situation, it's even more ridiculous, right? Because there's no incentive to buy the stupid thing. So it doesn't appeal to crypto bros because there's no incentive for the crypto bro to buy it. And then everybody else is like, what the fuck is this? I'm not buying this because it's an NFT. So, yeah, L plus ratio plus you fell off. What the fuck? This is just the beginning. Here's the thing. I think that things like the CS:GO marketplace have already proven that there's a demand for, you can create markets out of video game skins without having to incorporate NFTs into them. But I also think that there's going to be a place for NFTs in terms of gaming skins in the future. That's my prediction. Maybe the whole fucking market will crash. I don't know. Maybe this is like 2008. Maybe it's just a bubble. But I really don't think that this is going away anytime soon. It's just on companies to, provide a product that people are actually going to like. And I think that there's an incentive there for like digital ownership of something that you buy in a game. It would defeat a lot of the arguments I think people have about, it doesn't have any value. Why would you buy it? I'm not buying that $60 gun skin. I value my monetary worth more than you do. I won't buy the gun colors. Right? There's a lot of people that kind of do that. Personally, I've spent probably too much money on Valorant skins. I buy it if it looks cool. I'm not concerned about selling it. It looks cool. I want to flex. That's it. Maybe Ubisoft can learn some lessons from there. Basically, keep it simple, stupid. That's it. And Ubisoft has not done that with Ubisoft Quartz. Let me know what you think about the whole NFT situation. And yeah, thanks for watching. Deuces.